5 watches to rule them all.
One ring to rule them all.
Well, not exactly, but I'm here to give you my 5 top recommendations of vintage Omega watches and ones that will equally look as stylish on your wrist so that you can floss in the sun and look sexy as hell. Without further ado, welcome back to Horology Biology, guys. I'm here to help you choose the right watches in the right way for the right price so that you don't break the bank or get in trouble with your wife or whoever. You never know.
Am I in trouble?
Number 5. This is the vintage Omega Admiralty. This is a diving watch which has a bidirectional bezel, coming in at 36.8mm because it has a small crown guard on it, of course with an Omega crown. It has the hand winder Cal 601 inside and it's the reference 135.042. These watches you can get for around the $1,000 mark. They're really nice on the wrist with a vintage tropic strap, a black one preferably. Some of the watches come with the anchor on the dial, some don't. Personally, I'm not bothered either way. They also come in an array of different dial colors, which is really nice. So that's my number 5. Moving on, guys, number 4. At number 4, I have a classic one in the midst. This is the vintage Omega Chrono Stop. It is not a chronograph, it is an in-between. It basically has a chronograph feature, if that's what you want to call it, where you can start the chronograph timer and it will run for 60 seconds. When you push the pusher back in, it will just reset to 12 o'clock. This of course is completely useless unless you have many things in life that you want to record a maximum of 60 seconds.
Something moronic?
Wow. But we don't care because it looks super fresh. Yeah. Comes in at 34.6mm on the wrist with an 18mm lug size. Looks really nice with a black leather strap on it, something a little bit sporty. It has the Cal 865 inside, which is very similar to the 861, and it is the reference 145.009. Guys, if you like this video, please hit a like on it. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, and if you do subscribe, drop me a comment in the comment section and I will do my best to reply to you with thanks, love and hugs and all of that goodness.
Aww.
Number 3 on the list. I have chosen the vintage Omega Constellation chronometer because you need to have a chronometer in your collection. If you don't have one, you gotta have one. These are really nice, beautiful looking dress watches. They come in many different styles. You can get stainless steel, you can get gold. Personally, I like the stainless steel. They are 34mm size minus the crown, obviously, with an 18mm lug. Personally, with these, I also like these on a leather strap. A brown vintage leather strap looks really nice with some shark teeth. The Omega Constellation comes with the caliber 551, which is an automatic caliber. The reference I have here is the 1438111SC. Personally, I prefer it without the date, as you can see in the images. I think it just looks a lot better. To be honest, I find dates are a little bit overrated. They're quite common on watches. With modern technology, with phones and internet, do we really need to know the date? Coming in at number 2. Now this is a beefy watch, I'm not gonna lie. I absolutely love this watch. Why? Because it's so ugly, it actually makes it beautiful. This is the Seamaster Chrono Quartz. It was used at the 1976 Montreal Olympics. It has Cal 1611 inside. The reference is 196.0052. Now it comes in at a whopping 46.5mm with a 29mm lug size. This watch is this big that I swear if you had one on each wrist, you would look like Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman! Wonder Woman!
Now it actually takes 2 batteries to run this watch. One is for the chronograph side of things and the other is for the timekeeping. It is a quartz watch, obviously being the 1611. One word of advice regarding this watch. Now first thing is, you can get it for less than 2,000. That's a given. But what I would say with this watch in particular is, if there is anything wrong with it mechanically, walk away. I do own one because it's my birthday watch. Yeah, but I would never touch one that is not functioning because parts are not that easy to get, they are expensive, and with it being a quartz watch with a lot going on in there, it's just much more less stress to get one that's operating correctly in the first place.
It's broken.
And of course, that leads us down to number one. Now, this was probably going to be pretty straightforward and obvious where I was going to be going with this, but it has to be done, and I know other people have touched on this before, but the Speedmaster Mark II. And why might you ask? The main reason is because still as it stands today, you can get a decent looking example for under 2,000. It can happen. Now, the Mark I's, they are going for astronomical amounts of value. I believe that the Mark II will catch up. Doesn't have the same kind of case, but I do believe that as time goes on, this is a watch that you will have in your collection. It looks great on the wrist, it's a great size, and I do believe that in the years to come, it is going to increase in value. Not everybody can afford a Mark I, so other collectors on a smaller level or a smaller budget will start moving into the Mark IIs. I have a Mark II, I've owned it for many years, and I won't sell it. I really like my Mark II. The Mark II is reference 145.014. It has the caliber 861, which is a Lemania based caliber, 41mm on the wrist with a 20mm lug size. The bracelet that you can get on this watch, there's two different types. I cannot remember the reference number for the bracelets off the top of my head, but one is more that looks like the same that's on the Flightmaster. That's the one I have. That's the one you want. I'm not just saying that because I've got it, it just looks a lot more fresh on the watch. So there you have it, guys. These are my top 5 vintage Omega watches that you need in your collection without breaking the bank, without causing a huge argument with your wife. No sir, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that kind of stress in their life. They want to collect their watches without having the bank manager call them up, giving them copious amounts of stress. You don't need that. No sir. But at the same time, you also want to look fresh with the stuff on your wrist. There are many other examples that I could give in this top 5, but when I broke it down, 2,000 is a nice kind of round number. It's not gonna hurt you too much, and you're still gonna have nice pieces in your collection. And who knows, in the years to come, these are pieces that can accumulate value. Guys, until next time.